This is low. It's low. We let you in. We tried to take care of you, and you're sitting here and just attacking us for 3 hours, bro.
The world is asking these questions, and the viewers will be asking these questions.
It's a consistent leading question, a consistent narrative. Where's the question about the good he's doing for men? Well, there's a very clear narrative. I need to leave. Okay.
So Vice did an interview with Andrew Tate, where it was basically set up to question him about his supposed crime. It's riddled with bias and aggressive questions that make him out to be a criminal. And it's completely and utterly biased from the get-go. Part of being an impartial channel is that we have to be prepared to defend both sides. What? And this time we're going to be defending Andrew Tate from Vice's unfair and biased questioning. Now, I am not an Andrew Tate fan, but I do respect his work in terms of his numerous successful businesses and work ethic. It's just his sociological views I can't agree with. Anyway, with that being said, let's take a look.
Okay, as I've read more and understand more about Andrew Tate, I think he's just a loser. I think he's just a loser. I don't even know if I respect him on the business side of things. So it seems like he traffics a bunch of women, and then he scams the fuck out of all the guys. I started listening to more and more of like his business model and stuff off stream. The goal was to scam the fuck out of a lot of the guys. His whole business of like how he ran things was a giant scam. That's all it was. He had guys doing the messages. He was tricking like lonely fucking virgins in Europe that they were gonna fly girls out to scam money off of them and everything. He was a great kickboxer. Was he actually? I feel like one time in the past, I feel like I said like, oh well, I'll give him credit at least for kickboxing, and then somebody said no, he did like 3 matches and he lost 2 of them or something. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe you can give him credit for kickboxing if he was good at that. Okay, so I guess he gets credit for kickboxing, but like in terms of how he made his money, his whole business and everything was just like a scam. He's just like a fucking scammer. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the amount of respect that I have for this guy just like goes really low. Like the more that I learn about them, he won the equivalent of a couple of ESL weeklies and called himself a world champ. He inherited a fortune from his father. His record is high. I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to put together like an Andrew Tate thing because I'm curious. Because I feel like there's so much weird shit around this guy. I don't know if I've seen it all in one place. His kickboxing record was 76 wins, 9 losses. Don't listen to people in chat. His record is highly disputed. He fought random ass dudes with no records. Oh damn, we're all over the place here. Okay, anyway, we'll listen to this guy slob on his knob a little bit.
With Andrew's team increasingly conscious of negative publicity, tonight could be the last chance to interview him. Do you consider the possibility that some of the things that you've said, which have been viewed 11 billion times, may lead to an attitude towards women that could be harmful?
I accept that across all of that viewership, I have perhaps, possibly, maybe said one thing, or maybe 2, that has upset a large range of people.
Wouldn't it make sense to just apologize for some of the things you said, acknowledge that they have caused harm, and say that you won't say those things again?
No, and I'll tell you why.
So there is nothing wrong with this question here. It's basic journalism to confront people with tough questions that the public are very well arguing. Andrew Tate downplays the allegations made against him, saying that he may have said 1 or 2 things in the past. He knows this isn't true. I consider him a marketing expert, and he definitely deliberately says these incredibly bold and sometimes sexist statements to generate press, and it absolutely works. People like Jeremy Clarkson have been doing it for years, and it has helped make them a household name. A lot of people idolize him, not because he's sexist and because of his views, but they idolize him because in this age of cancel culture, he speaks his mind. I respect that about him despite not agreeing with most of what he says.
I'm not going to apologize for the edits of other people. I'm not going to apologize for the misunderstandings of other people. There's a whole bunch of clips people are making which make me look very bad. That's not good for my life. That's not good for business.
The clips that portray you in a negative light also help the algorithm to make you become more famous and more viral.
I'm not an expert on algorithms for social media platforms. I do not have most of them installed on my phone. I cannot control what a 15-year-old Singaporean decides to do when he chops me up and calls me names. I can't control that, and I wouldn't try to.
When you search for your name in Google, one of the associated terms is human trafficking.
I was not formally charged. I have no criminal record.
Oof,
I've never
well.
human trafficked anyone in my life.
Why then have the Romanian police said the investigation is ongoing?
So he does a very clear distancing behavior when confronted about deliberately saying these outrageous statements because it generates clicks and publicity. People typically distance themselves from people that cause them stress, and Andrew Tate noticeably does this right after the guy asks this question. Andrew Tate is clever. He knows marketing. Heck, his whole Hustlers University was a marketing ploy to make thousands of people re-upload his content. This is his exact area of expertise, and he knows it, which is why he looks away when he lies. Now, this is where we see Vice turn from good journalists into manipulative and biased journalists. They use the fact that people have searched for Andrew Tate trafficking as an excuse to steer that conversation into heavily trying to imply that he's guilty despite these charges being dropped in the past. Vice then asks an utterly manipulative and biased question.
Jesus.
Andrew Tate has just said that he's not guilty and has no criminal record, and Vice, being the incredibly bad journalists they are, then attack his
guy's so
innocence by
mad.
asking why he's being investigated. By phrasing this as a question, they are pretending to act impartial despite it being loaded with bias. They may as well have just said Andrew Tate must be guilty because the Romanian authorities are investigating him. That's what I have a problem with. They are assuming that he's guilty before a trial has even been concluded. For a mainstream news agency to violate innocent until proven guilty personally scares me, because if they can do it to him, they can certainly do it to you. This bad journalism also drives people to support Andrew Tate.
I'm not sure where you got that information from. I'm not sure who said it. Is there some kind of procedure that must be completed? I don't know.
There has been a lot of bad press about you. That's made some nervousness within members of the war, and why is that?
Well, obviously, when people are going to continue to lie and continue to do very, very shallow, very, very fictitious investigations, people are going to lose faith in you. The media has lost all credibility because you do not try and portray the truth anymore.
One thing that stands in the way of truth, for example, is when we often do documentaries, we have...
You know what I do respect Andrew Tate for? And I'm thinking back to that like big apology video he did when he got initially banned from social media. I do think that Andrew Tate is a good con man. And I respect that hustle. And I think that's about the extent to what he's capable of and what he can deliver on, is he's a very good con man.
full access to speak to anyone we want. But in this documentary, we've been very closely watched by the sartorial shooter, Alpha Wolf, picking who we can speak to, you know, monitoring the interview. What is it that you're worried that we're going to find out?
These questions are so low.
This is low. It's low. We let you in. We tried to take care of you, and you're sitting here and just attacking us for 3 hours, bro.
The world is asking these questions, and the viewers will be asking these questions.
It's a consistent leading question, it's a consistent narrative. Where's the question about the good he's doing for men? Well, there's a very clear narrative. I need to leave.
Vice then again uses a false question, which is basically a statement to try and manipulate the viewers. What is it you're worried we're going to find out is basically the equivalent of them saying Andrew Tate is hiding something because he won't give us access to everyone in his organization. This is again incredibly biased and unprofessional journalism that has one aim: to manipulate and push a narrative on viewers. I do not like Andrew Tate. I believe he teaches a lot of deeply disturbing ideas about women that have very real implications, but he has done good as well. These questions are so biased, and if they can do it to him, they can do it to you too. One of my all-time favorite quotes is, quote, "I disagree with what you have to say, but I will defend to
your
the
right
death
to say
your
it."
right to say it."
Thanks, buddy.
I am a firm believer in free speech, and these clever, manipulative questions to tell viewers that Andrew Tate is a criminal are incredibly disturbing and morally wrong. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thanks, buddy. Actually, so sad when Destiny, Abba, Christ, or LTG's banned without even looking at his very recent past of doxing other creators. You need to at least confront LTG about these issues instead of constantly linking his channel and YouTube videos and telling you to stop to him. They've gone to see him, but there's one thing that's been very disappointing, not gonna lie. Listen, are you the guy? There's like 1 or 2 people in my community that fucking hate low tier God, and they like write these full subreddit posts up on him or whatever about him like dox people or whatever. I said yesterday, I actually brought it up. He might have done it. I haven't looked into it personally myself. He might have done it. I just haven't like looked into it enough. But if that triggers you a lot, I'm sorry, my dude. I love you. Seems a possible relationship between LS and Tate. Yeah, but I don't think there was any like source on any of that. I've seen like a lot of random shit posted about. The problem with the Andrew Tate stuff, the reason why I'd want to do like a manifesto thing, is that like I feel like I just can't trust anything about him. I have to research everything, because anytime I see somebody to the left post something about him, it'll be like the most insanely like hyperinflated bullshit ever. And then anytime I see somebody to the right say anything about him, they're like just, you know, dick riding, they're glazing, they're slurping. And it's like, okay, well, so yeah, I don't know. It's very frustrating to try to like research anything about this guy at all, because everybody. Michaela Peterson launched the Lion's Lair after meeting with Tate about 3 years ago. It was a $600 club, and the website was wild. I believe she was coached by Tate. Am I finally supposed to be having my talk with her? I'm supposed to be talking with Chud soon, too. Michaela Peterson. All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.